Hey, what's up? So I wanted to show you what I had seen throughout past couple years, or a few years now, but early on, like 2020, 2021, with the mask on, mask off kind of a thing. And I'll just show you so you won't see half of what I saw because I don't have half of it saved, or if I do, it's lost to me at the moment. So, but I do have plenty to show, and I want to look at this with you. I want you to look at it with me. This is what I saw, and I saw it live. I watched it all live. I read it all live. I kept up to date every day, all day long. It's all I did, among other things. I was watching everything. Pretty lost in it. Anyway, so the first few things I'm going to share, though, are before the mask stuff. And this is in regards to so-called protecting ourselves with masks and all that. Anyways, let's take a look here. This was on the official CDC website when they changed the definition of vaccine and vaccination. And on May 16th, 2018, the vaccination was defined as to produce immunity to a specific disease. And then in 2021, in September, it was to produce protection. This was one of the definitions that was changed, and this was actually on the CDC website. I looked this up myself at the time, I remember. That's one thing I also remember throughout this was a year. I don't remember if it was 2020 or 2021. I'm pretty sure it was 2021, though. 2021 or 2020 went by extremely fast, and I was in other stuff before the COVID thing. Anyways, sorry. It's hard for me to talk about this stuff. It's hard. I don't want to, but I have to. Anyways. At the time in that year, I was reading articles and following just stuff, right? So I had seen every time they mentioned, like, they changed the definition of vaccine and vaccination, I went and looked it up on dictionary.com every time somebody brought it up. And every time it was changed. And I'd mentioned this in the previous video that's no longer public, but I stopped watching after 4 changes within the same year. 1 year. 4 changes. They were minor tweaks. Minor tweaks to clarify the meaning. And as you can see here in just one of them, it went from immunity to protection. They changed it more than 4 times to clarify in a year. Oh yeah, this was one I came across, so I forgot about that. I'm glad I had this on the screen. Okay, so vaccination pre-2015, injection of a killed or weakened infectious organism in order to prevent the disease. Vaccination 2015 to 2021, the act of introducing a vaccine into the body to produce immunity to a specific disease. And then in September 2021, the act of introducing a vaccine into the body to produce protection from a specific disease. And I like I said, I saw it. Because every time when I was seeing people talk about it, I went to go look it up myself. I went to the CDC website, and I know they changed it more than once on the CDC website. Anyways, that might not, maybe that sounds normal to you. That's not normal to me. That's unacceptable. That's just me. This was a funny one. What was this? I think this was, they even mentioned it was a few months apart or something. 2 months apart. 2 months apart. A new study, the largest of its kind, shows the hydrochloroquine or whatever, the drug touted by President Trump, does not work against COVID-19 and could cause heart problems. And then in 2 months later, a surprising new study found that the controversial anti-malarial drug hydrochloroquine, whatever that word is, helped COVID-19 patients better survive in the hospital. I should know that word because I heard it like a jillion times. It's just I don't, whatever. But anyways, Not a Trump fan, not a Biden fan. Hate all politicians. They all are horrible, evil demons. But, you know, hello. 2 months apart. 2 months. 2 months. This is real. It's not photoshopped. It's real. In 1983, the U.S. began a mass panic after an NIH scientist published a paper in JAMA, that claimed AIDS could be transmitted via casual household contact. It began severe homophobia as everyone became afraid to touch gay people. I remember this. I was a kid, and then that didn't. The scientist named Dr. Anthony Fauci. There's a lot going on. I remember seeing the protests, in which I have another picture saved of people saying, "You're killing us, Dr. Fauci." But I remember what a crazy time that was, and it was all throughout all of the 80s and probably still, early 90s too. Like, everybody was afraid of gay people. Yeah. Afraid to touch them, afraid to go near them. This big, nonstop. It was a big deal. And it wasn't even just a gay thing. This was something that they did, anyways. So that's just to show you Fauci. Not a good person. Not somebody that you should trust. Not somebody that you should listen to. And then the last one before the mask stuff. Members of Congress and their staff are exempt from Biden's vaccine mandate. And this was, September 9th, 2021. September 2021. This was nearly a year after they mandated everybody else. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, this was written in October. This was a year after they already told everybody else, you have to do this, whatever. And now we know for sure, because they're admitting it, they have to. They wouldn't admit it if they did not have to, that the vaccine doesn't stop transmission. They would have never admitted it if they didn't have to. Real businesses shut down. All the small businesses, like a lot of them, like literally, they're gone. They're gone. Just gone. Okay. Sorry for the anger. I will not be able to not be angry at a lot of this stuff. I'm, doing my best, working on it. So, we're into the masks. Hello. This was all over the place. This was everywhere. I wore a mask because I was living in California at the time. And the more further you get away from California, the more you could see that it wasn't such a thing. But, it is everywhere, though. Anyways, saw this everywhere. So I wore a mask, too, because we had to. We had to wear a mask everywhere we went. Like, to go into a store, right? To do all these things. And I remember, what I'll never forget? It never made sense even as we did it. Like, I know I thought about it every single time that we went to go eat food. If we went out and go eat food, walked in somewhere, I put our mask on, and then as soon as we sat down to eat, we could take our mask off. That never, ever made sense. Didn't make sense. That it never will. This one. I'm pretty sure I'd seen the clip where they actually walked onto the field, but I don't know. It's been a long time and I don't have that clip. Anyways, so this was a fun one. My favorite is this kid here. Here, actually, let me blow it up. My favorite is the second kid from the left who's looking up. I don't know, it's just funny to me. Oh, there's another one over here. The kids are looking up like, what the hell, right? Probably, that's my guess. Right? Wouldn't that be on your mind? Right? Very confusing, isn't it? It's funny, though. Hello. Schools in California, kids all masked up, Super Bowl. And here's the thing, I remember this too. The argument was, all the people that went into the Super Bowl were required to have been vaccinated. But, again, as we know, doesn't stop the transmission, doesn't stop infection. What's it for? We don't even know. I could tell you. But anyways, so there were arguments. There were people were making sense of it, understandably, because how else could we go along with it without making sense of it, justifying, right? Have to force ourselves to go along with this insanity that makes no sense. But all the people at the Super Bowl are vaccinated. There's more to it, though, and I have a couple, I think. Here's one, Prince Harry, apparently, right? For the TV. I don't know if that's his girlfriend, his wife, his sister, or what. But then after that, and I don't know if it was after the game or in the middle of it, but you know, hello. It's a show, and I hope you know this by now. I hope you do. I really do. Because it's hard. You know, this is a deep betrayal. It's deep. It's a betrayal. Betrayal of our trust. And we should have known better. Those of us that went along with it. And we were manipulated. We care about others, right? It's a manipulation. It's still the argument right now. Oh, you don't care about others. Yes, we do. I care that you're being lied to. I care that you're being manipulated. I care that you're being betrayed. You know, I was going along with it, and I was the same way. I made the same arguments before I had kept paying attention. You know, I was making the same exact arguments everybody else still is that still believes this is a real thing. I made the same exact arguments. Oh, I forgot to zoom this in. I think I zoomed it in too much. Right. So there's that. You know, just another one. And then the CTA said no to unmasking our kids, and the governor dutifully obliged. This is the CTA board member Jesse Aguilar. He thinks kids should continue wearing masks while he enjoys the Super Bowl without one. Again, the argument that we would hear is they were all vaccinated, which again, we were lied to the whole time. I'm scared to say these things. I'm not just like... There's multiple reasons for that, and it's not because I'm worried about... There's just stuff. This is... You have no idea how hard it was for me to go through this. On my own. No fucking idea. I could never explain that. Kamala Harris, couple kids. Makes sense. It's a show. It's insane. How the hell did we go along with this? But you know, I mean, it's because most people don't have the time that I have, right? But I know. I've been there, man. At least half my life was work, sleep, work, sleep, work, sleep, work, sleep, work, sleep, work, sleep. I know. Other than that, some people just don't want to. They just don't want to know this stuff. They don't want to know the truth. It is rough. Yeah. They don't want to know the evil. The most despicable form of COVID theater at the BAFTAs. As the A-listers watch on unmuzzled, the poor staff member is forced to wheel out a cake wearing a mask. Stop this madness. And the only one... I guess literally everybody else there is vaccinated, right? As if that matters, right? The servants. Rules for thee, not for me. This is real. Oh yeah, I forgot. This one I can scroll through and show you. I'm not going to read the article. I remember looking through this like a year ago or whatever, whenever it was first posted. I had forgotten I'd even had it. February. Let's see. And so here's the thing about these two. This was the story for the article. They were still telling people that they had to wear masks even while you were vaccinated. There was a time, do you remember? There was a time when even if you were vaccinated, you had to wear a mask. And then finally they were like, oh, never mind, you don't have to wear a mask even if you're vaccinated. And it's a back and forth, and they just kept doing that. They kept doing that while they were putting on a show. There, I have a ton of clips. Well, maybe not a ton, but a few. I didn't bring them up because I wanted to keep it simple. I don't want to, anyways. Of showing these people before they were going on camera live without a mask, and when they knew they were going to get on camera live, they put a mask on and then took it off before they spoke. And so it was for the looks, so that you could see that they were wearing a mask, right? But it's a show. I think this was a mayor or something, and they're partying, having a good time, no masks, while they were enforcing this so-called mandate. This was happening all during it, Hello. Hello. Right? Can we please stop thinking this makes sense? Stacey Abrams. Oh, I forgot to bring up the video game one. This was a new one too. I remembered this one. This was one I would never forget. Never. Referee whistles may be caused a sudden increase in heart problems among sports players, experts say. Yeah? Really? I've recently seen, I think it was new, but I don't remember the date. But I'm pretty sure it was new. There was a new article saying that video games could cause myocarditis. It's not recent enough for me to check it on my profile. I totally meant to bring that up here. I'm gonna check real quick if I hashtagged that. No, I didn't. Damn it. Anyways, but yeah. So, come on, man. Right? Like, how long have we been playing sports? And now, oh, the whistles could be causing problems with your heart. Although, that said, I think I can remember something similar said back in the 90s when there was something similar going on with the flu season. I could be wrong. It's been a long time. But I did remember, I was thinking, I was like, I think I've heard that before. Like, it's pretty funny. Here's something funny I wanted to share. This was a post that I made, and this was a so-called fact check. First fact check. Pfizer vaccine clinical trials not intended to test transmission. This is I didn't Photoshop this. The second fact check. Scientific studies show that Pfizer vaccine reduces transmission. Like, here's the post that they fact-checked me on. A cafe in Melbourne. Apology to the unvaccinated and vax coerced. Last year we didn't know. The injection does not stop COVID transmission. It does not protect others. Now we know. We were wrong to exclude you. And they fact-checked that. The things being fact-checked and all that, whatever, censorship going on right now is nuts. It's nuts. Right? I don't know if you've seen it. I've seen it all. I've experienced it. Because I have no life outside of, I have no life, basically. Alright? Not bragging. So I saw all this. I got lost in it. Not just this. This, for me, the reason I'm so, I guess, adamant about this whole thing is because it's the most recent. Right now, we're still experiencing enormous betrayal, enormous lie that's so obvious to anybody that's paying any attention. And so I'm hoping I'm hoping that showing you the little bits that you can at least see the hypocrisy and the insanity involved in it. Like it really doesn't make any sense. And I was going along with it too for at least a year. Well, I don't know. For a while. If those few years all bleed, it was all one day for me, and it was nuts. I'm sorry could never possibly be enough. And it is really hard for me to share this stuff, to talk about it. Number one, because I lost my mind. That's why I won't go deeper. I won't deep dive into this with you. I can't. It hurts too much. I'm still trying to remain sane. After what I saw, I'm trying to remain sane. Doing a fair job, I think. Some days are harder than others. Some moments are harder than others, Anyways, there's the other stuff is the censorship. The other stuff is the outrage of having the opposing view. Been there, done that, still going through it. Now I'm on the opposite side, angry at the other side that I was just on. Right? Yeah, it's messed up. It's horrible. Alright, well, I'll talk to you later. Bye.